All right. Well, welcome everybody to another Friday afternoon here at Vesterheim Commons. My name is Chris Johnson. I'm the president and CEO here at the museum. I will mention this afternoon, you may hear a little banging and sawing going on as we talk today. It is a construction site. And so welcome here for today's discussion. And over here we have Kim Toussaint, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Kim Toussaint, and I work in the development office at Vesterheim. And Chris, I'm super excited to be in this beautiful new space. Can you tell us where we're at in the building?
Well, we're up on the third floor right now of Vesterheim Commons, and we are just outside of the future digital production studio. But we have behind us here this wonderful window, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about that today here. So.
Yeah. So the window looks out at Water Street, and can you tell us about the inspiration for the design?
Sure, certainly. This window was thought about by our designers from Snohetta in thinking about the landscape that surrounds us here in Decorah. Well, we are, Decorah is located in the driftless region, and part of the driftless region are the beautiful limestone bluffs that you see if you canoe down the upper Iowa River, or you're maybe hiking on or biking on some of our local trails here. You'll see those limestone bluffs. Our designers were very impressed with that as well as they came and toured the site over time. And they said that would be a neat feature to kind of highlight in this window as well. And so what they did was they looked at the window, they looked at the height of this window and said, this is, similar to what you'd see at some of the limestone bluffs that you find around here in this area. And what they did is they took a picture of a limestone bluff and then they pixelated it. And so you can see how this is a series of blocks up here. It's a stylized representation of a limestone rock formation.
There's also some swirls in there.
There's also some swirls, that's right. You can see some swirly shaped pieces right here. And that relates to another part of what's unique about Vesterheim, and that's our collections in our folk art school. And what this form is that you can see swirls in that shape here is actually an acanthus form. And I brought with me today a little visual aid, I guess you could say. And this is a spoon that has been hand carved. And up here you can see this shape right here. This is an acanthus leaf. And you find that form in a lot of our collections. A lot of our wood carved pieces have that type of leaf. It is also something that you find in rose mauling. It's actually a form that goes back as far as the ancient Greeks. If I remember my architectural history classes correctly, the acanthus leaf was something that was a feature of some of the types of Greek columns as well. So the acanthus leaf is an important part of this. So
I walk down the hill to work, and it looks different every day depending on the sunlight. It's beautiful.
Yep.
So it was a busy days when this was installed. Can you tell us what all went into getting it in the building?
Certainly. This piece is actually, it's several pieces that have been put together to create this 3-story window. And it was produced off-site, and then in order to bring it on-site and up to the building, we had to close down Water Street for a period of time. Crane had to come out here, and then this piece, for example, right here, is over 2,000 pounds of glass. And they had to mount a special suction cup or series of suction cups onto this and slowly and carefully hoist this into position. And then there is a sealant that this window sits up against. And it's actually, if you drive by the site right now, you can see there's some wood blocks and things like that along the window here right now. Those are temporary, while the sealant has a really long cure time. And we want to make sure that that is fully sealed before we release those.
And this isn't the only window in the building, but there was some strategic placement of those windows.
That's
what all
right.
went into that?
Right. Early on in the design, one of the things that we wanted to do was take advantage of the natural daylight in different areas. And so we had, in the design, we had a daylight study done where we looked at how daylight would work in different parts of the building. recognizing that we wanted to have daylight in some spaces where people were going to be, attending a public program or just relaxing and enjoying the view. But there was other areas of the building where we wanted to make sure that we controlled the daylight because we were going to have collections on display, or we were going to have exhibits on display where light was, we needed to make sure was more carefully controlled. And so that was done. It creates a nice bright and airy space for us in those public areas, but also the ability to control light in those areas where we have collections stored or displayed.
Right. They're fun to poke around and look.
That's right, that's right.
Lots of different views out to the park in the back. And well, before we go, we want to thank everybody who's made this project possible and who so far. There's still time to participate. You can go to vesterheim.org and to donate and to find updates and all the videos that Chris has been sharing to see the inside of Vesterheim Commons until you can come visit in person later this year. So we'll be back here next week.
Next week.
What are you going to tell us about?
Next week, our focus is we're going to talk about actually another space just around the corner here, and that's our digital production studio that's going into use here very shortly. So that'll be coming up next Friday. But until then, again, thank you for being part of Facebook Live with us today. And again, if you're interested in being part of the Strong Roots, Bold Future campaign, you can see we're taking a bold step here at Vesterheim with this building, and we'd love for you to be a part of it as well. Just go to vesterheim.org. Thank you very much.